He said, God damn. He said, all right. I said, let's do a podcast. Let's sit down. Let's get a coffee. Let's just talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. Coffee with the Sam. Got a little podcast. Grab yourself a little coffee and a podcast.
Hello, what's up, guys, and welcome to the Coffee with Sam podcast, episode 29. Guys, we're nearly at 30. I can't believe it. And I'm going to start this podcast with saying thank you to everyone on the YouTube, everybody on Apple, everyone on Spotify, everybody on Google for the views, likes, shares. Guys, there's a big thing coming out this week about algorithms and how they affect what you see and what you hear and what you get comes up on your social media feeds. Please, can you like, can you click, can you share, can you comment on all of my platforms, on all of my podcasts, and that will keep you getting to see them often. If you don't and you just watch one and that's it, then you might not ever see me share one ever again, because the way the algorithms are working at the moment. So yeah, I wanted to start with please like, share, subscribe to channels. I'm uploading them to as many platforms as I can to keep everybody happy. Today's episode is sponsored by SIGG bottles. Now on the YouTube you can see this, but I'm holding up a nice black aluminium coffee cup, and that's from www.sigg.com. They are have been around for years. They've been creating these beautiful aluminium cups. They do water bottles, so I've got a water bottle here next to me. They do water bottles, they do coffee cups, they do lunch boxes, and they're in this very sleek finish, and they last, guys. My coffee stays warm throughout the whole podcast. And this coffee cup's got like a little button on the back, and you click it, you push the button, and it allows you to be able to drink from it. Oh my god, that's still well hot. Oh, burnt my tongue. Okay, so today's episode is sponsored by www.sigg.com. They import, they deliver all around the world. Check them out if you need a new water bowl, or someone needs a water bottle or coffee cup for Christmas. Now, let's get into today's episode. So, I still can't say to today's episode, but to today's episode, I have on entrepreneur and property manager Shaun Davis. He owns a company called Urban Homes. They've been going, I think he owns it with his partner, and we'll get into that. But it's been going for about 3 years, and I follow this dude on social media, and he inspires me with not just his approach to business, but also his approach to the mental game of being mentally strong and keeping motivated to be successful in business. So welcome into the show, Shaun Davis. What's up, buddy?
Sam, yeah, good. Thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How's life?
Not bad, mate. Not bad.
Always got a smile on your face. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Mate, I know. It's shocking at the moment. It's just the uncertainty of everything. It's just crazy.
Up and down like this.
Yeah, man.
Constantly. So how has this affected your business? Is it boomed? Because
different areas. So basically, we've got like 3 parts of the business. So we've got like sourcing, where we basically find below market value deals and find an investor and marry the two together, and then charge a fee for our services for that. So that's been really good. And then we've got 2 other sides of the business where we basically find like rundown properties, like derelict properties. Instead of buying it, we actually just lease, like do a commercial lease on it, and then transform it into like a multi-let co-living. So that's been really good. Sourcing has been really good. And then the final side is we've got like a holiday lets business as well. Where again, we do the same sort of concept. We do like a commercial lease on a property, and then we'll basically turn it into like a luxury holiday let apartment. So we've got quite a few around the West Midlands, Birmingham, Coventry, and Wolverhampton as well. And obviously with that, because that's a holiday let business, and we used to get loads of guests from all over the world, Australia, China, loads from China. especially. And obviously all that's just like just come to like a stop really. But so I've had to be really innovative in terms of thinking of how we can fill these apartments and keep it occupied. So yeah, that's been really interesting.
So that's more people like traveling. So like people traveling from outside the UK to the UK for like a holiday, and
Yeah,
it's a bit like
yeah.
Airbnb type.
Like exactly, that's what it is. We're on Airbnb, Booking.com, Trivago, There's about 30 different sites, and then we get like a channel manager which basically manages all of them, so we can manage it all correctly. Yeah, so that's what it is, mate. So we've had to really target a new like a new set of guests basically. So now we target more contractors, things like that. So the plus side, the way I see it, is like when everything does go back to normal, because now I've got like a new stream of leads that come in that I didn't get beforehand. I'll have the contractors and I'll have all the overseas as well. So I'm hoping that next year, if I can get through this, next year should hopefully be, booming on that side of the business as well.
So you took a hit on that side. What about so you said you buy old properties and then...
No, yeah. So we do. We will start buying, like doing commercial developments. That's something that we're looking to do next. At the moment, we do commercial leases.
Okay, what's that then, Shaun?
Yeah, so it's a property strategy called rent to rent. And basically what you do, it's just typically you'll find a property that's typically run down, not in the best condition, where the landlord may be struggling to sort of let the property. And then basically we give the landlord a guaranteed rent, essentially, for 5 years. But obviously that rent's going to be a bit less than what you would get. But then the benefit to him is that it's going to get no voids, no maintenance. We control the house as if we own it basically. We then refurb it, put a bit of investment into it, and then we get our own tenants into it as well. So we can, so it's a fantastic strategy of getting into a way of getting into property without actually buying a property.
Without that big lump sum at the top. Oof.
Yeah. So we've got 17 of these properties now that we've got, and obviously we get decent cash flow from them. But for us to buy 17 of these houses, we never would have been able to do that in, since just over 2 years since we had the business. So it's in terms of creating cash flow, it's a perfect strategy for that.
And then after that, does that come into, have you had any tenants? Well, sorry, the people that you're helping out. Is it a tenant? Are they still a tenant? Not a
yes,
tenant
yeah.
owner, so that, or an owner, like, can you end up buying that from them?
Yeah, so a couple of them, we've got them. There's another strategy, property strategy called lease option agreements, where you can basically lease the property off them with the option to buy it at the end as well. So a couple of them, we've got the agreement, so we can actually do that at the end. With the commercial leases, at the end, once the lease is expired, you're just going to basically renegotiate it again. If they wanted to sell it to us, then yeah, that option would be there as well.
Wow, so you're hitting every part of the market really, and also setting yourself up to like small steps, as in the money wise.
Yes, yeah.
In the end, if you've already spent the money on the property,
exactly.
You've learned the property, and then you can end up buying that. Is that what you are? Is that where you're going with the business?
Yeah,
you want to end up owning property?
Yeah, 100%. This way is really was just to because obviously I was in a job, Ashley was in a full-time job, and then it was just mainly just to we both want to do property full-time. So this was the quickest strategy for us to be able to replace our income for our full-time job and basically be in property full-time. Now we're both in it full-time, we can then look at the next step now, doing bigger things. But we're still gonna do the same strategy as well, because it's a no-brainer really. And the good thing is as well, the landlords that we put like do like marketing like online and direct mail as well. And at the end of the commercial lease agreement, they'll most likely want to do something, because the whole reason why they contacted us in the first place was because they was obviously having some sort of difficulties with building the property and things like that. So there's going to be no difference in 5 years' time. So there's no reason why they wouldn't want to either say it to us at that time or just renegotiate the lease again and go again.
That's a very clever way to get onto the property ladder.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic, because it teaches you everything. So you're able to build a network. You're able to almost like get property experience without making the big investment. So this is a risky investment, because you obviously invest in a property that you don't own, but then owning the property is even a bigger risk. So if this didn't work for me, for instance, like let's say a property didn't work, I can like I've got like a break clause where I can break the contract within like 6 months. Whereas if you're buying a property, and you can't fill it, you've obviously got a major problem. Then you could obviously sell it, and that could take months and months as well, a lot longer than 6 months. So so it's enabled me to get a better understanding of how to like negotiate deals, and how to fill property, how to manage properties, how to manage tenants. So that now we're looking to buy, I'm a lot more confident now. I know that I can do my tenant demand research, my market research, to ensure that I'm getting a good deal and things like that.
Yes, I think it's a very clever way, and there are things, because you can now start. They're bringing out loads of different things with mortgages as well, aren't they? Where you can be a part owner, or
You like shared ownership.
share. And I think it's a lot safer for other people, but for the way you to turn it around into business is very, very clever. And I know you've grown your business pretty rapidly in 3 years, and you say you own the business with your partner, right?
Yes, yeah.
So where did it come from? Did you study all this at school, or was it business at school and uni, or?
Yeah, so it's actually quite weird. So we went on like a family holiday to Miami, and this is why I talk a lot about mindset and like just literally going for your dreams, and just trying to not having any sort of fear for what you want to try and achieve in life, because I didn't have any sort of property experience, had no contacts, no knowledge, no experience, no resources. I didn't really have much money either when we first started. But then I just literally went to on like a family holiday to Miami, had a really good time, and I came back to my 9 to 5. And I used to sell cars for a living. I was in car sales for like 7 years, and then I came back and I thought, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. I feel like I just want to start my own business. And I always wanted to get into property. I always knew that property was a good thing to get into. I always knew that you could get like generational wealth through property. It's good cash flow, and I wanted something that could basically, I could leave a legacy for my kids, and I could also get paid while I'm sleeping, basically. So I think, what can I do? Because there's a quote by Warren Buffett, and it says, if you don't find a way to earn money while you're sleeping, you'll basically work till you die. And that really, when I read that, I thought, you know what, that is so true. I thought, well, how can I make money while I'm
I love that.
Yeah.
Never heard that quote, but I love that.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it's amazing. That was a game changer for me, and that's what really got me thinking. I was in Miami, and that's got really inspired. That's why going abroad, I love it as well, because it just opens you up. It just opens your creativity. You see a new culture, a new way of living, and it just put this like burning desire inside of me to be able to just think differently. So I came back and I thought, okay, what can I do to sort of start a business and ultimately earn money while I'm sleeping? And property came up. I've done a bit of research, literally read a few books, a few mindset books actually, which are really good, that sort of help my mindset to get in that right place, get my creativity thinking. Watched a lot of YouTube videos, and that was it. And just literally took massive action, and that's all it is: massive imperfect action.
Yeah, just taking steps forward and saying, I'm going to do something, and going for it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that's what we did, and it was very hard to start off with, a lot of trial and error, but I just believe that I can do it. And once you believe you can do something, that's it. It's going to happen. And then gradually I've been able to build my network. So now things are a lot easier. So even now I'm still learning. I'm still, in the business world, we're still a newbie. We're still like a little dot in the market. But the good thing now is that I've built up a good network around me as well. So people that are already doing it, people are doing much bigger things than me. So that also helps as well.
Surrounding yourself with the same sort of people, like-minded people.
Like-minded people, yeah. There's people that's been in this game for decades that have been doing it, and got multi-million-pound portfolios and things like that. So it's always good. I've been able to build that network from scratch, which has sort of helped me and guided me. And and when I get stuck in anything, it's always good, because property, there's so many like legalities, especially with what I do. it's mainly HMOs, multi-let, co-living. So there's a lot of regulations that you've got to keep up with as well. So having that network around you, it's just fantastic, really.
Just knowing that you're doing things right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
multi-living, is that like student accommodation, that type thing,
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the cities where you could have 2 or 3 people living in one property?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. But we actually target working professionals. So that's a massive market. And before I came into this industry, I didn't realize how good it was. I didn't realize the demand for it was so high. But when you think about it, it makes sense, because we get a house, and the tenant basically will rent a room off us. They'll share the communal area and the kitchen facilities and the bathroom facilities, but the rooms are usually quite big anyway. And instead of them paying like, £600 for like an apartment or whatever, or 700 plus all your bills, they'll pay me one set fee, typically up to £400 for the room, but that's all the bills included.
So then you sort all that stuff out.
Yeah, we pay all the bills. So they just pay one fee, and it's a nice, cheap way of living. So at the moment, in that side of the business, we're busier than ever, because we're having loads of people coming to us saying, okay, we're uncertain with our jobs and things like that. So we want to cut down our expenses. So let's just move into a shared accommodation for now, and just lower our costs.
I like how you've adjusted though. Like, it was very hard for some people, and one person who didn't adjust very well when all this went upside down with COVID. I was like, I can't work. And I didn't want to jump on the same bandwagon that everyone was jumping on with regards to the industry I was in. And obviously the cheer industry just disappeared. So I was like, what do I do? But the way you've had to, because it's not like you could just, obviously you've got an office, you haven't just like where you can just go, oh, I'll change career, or I'll do something different for 6 months. There was 2 of you. You've got another member of staff as well, right?
Yeah, we've got a few members of staff now. Yeah,
few members of staff. You can't just up and change because you're not on your own. So like, how did you find that adjusting? Was it literally like a sit down?
Oh man, It was stressful, man. It was so, I can't lie to you, it was so stressful, because the first lockdown was so much worse than this one. Obviously, the property market got shut down as well. So we had about 3 properties that we took on a commercial lease, and then we couldn't really fill them. So we have to be really innovative and think, how can we fill these properties quickly? And then also our business plan this year we was going to have massive expansion as well. So then we didn't want that to stop as well. So we had to think, hey, the estate agents are shut now, and that's where we get like 85% of our leads from. So how can we still keep expanding throughout this, so that our business isn't affected? And then how can we get more streams of leads now? So there's so many things to take into consideration, but we just had to sit down, think about it logically, and just think about, okay, how can we make our customers' lives easier? What can we do? And the first thing I thought was, okay, virtual viewings. So quickly went around all the properties, doing loads of videos to like a professional standard. And then got them out. And then any sort of inquiries we were getting, we just sending these videos across, doing like contactless move-ins as well. So getting like lock boxes fitted outside the properties, putting the keys in there, tenant. Then it's a nice seamless process.
Yeah.
Even now it works well. And I think even moving forward, we'll try and do the same process, because it just means that we can be
less time. You don't have to be at a certain place with someone.
Yeah, exactly. So it works so much better. So for me, it's helped me think so much differently. And I'm actually quite grateful that obviously with what's going on, I always try and look at the positives and everything as well. So for me, I'm grateful that it's helped me to think differently. I feel like the experience that I've had as a business owner, I feel like it would have took me years to get because I wouldn't have thought like that. I would have still thought, okay, like God, now my mindset's like, okay, I've got to get multiple streams of leads. I can't rely on one. Before, all my leads were coming from estate agents.
Yeah.
So every single lead, it didn't even occur to me that to think, okay, how can I get direct to like vendor leads where I'm getting directly to the landlord? Didn't think, because the business was doing so well. And sometimes when the business is doing well, that's how a lot of businesses crash, because it does so well. They're so used to get into this box of doing things a certain way. All of a sudden that gets taken away, and all of a sudden you've got no business. Whereas now it's helped me to think, no matter how good things are going, I need to always ensure that I'm looking at other avenues as well, so that we're not in the future.
Well, like you say, you had to get the construction people in. Was it construction or workers in? Like contract people.
Yeah.
So now, like you say, you've got going out the back of this when it's all over. You've now got the two aspects coming into that. So that's a great way just to sit, recalculate, and adjust, and that's why you're going to be successful. Is because situation of time, you were like, well, how can I still make more money? Not.
How can we thrive? Because I do believe that there is opportunities in all this. You know what I mean? You're just going to be able to see them. You can have your mindset's going to be in the right place to be able to see the opportunities that are in this. And the people that can adapt, they will thrive. If you're not adapting, unfortunately, it's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And from my situation, I can't afford for it to hurt. I can't afford not to adapt, because this is my livelihood. My mortgage gets got to get paid. So it puts your mindset in a different sort of place, because I can't afford for it to fail. So for me, there's no way out.
Does having kids put you in a different mindset as well?
Oh, massively. Yeah. Once you bring kids into it, it changes the game. It literally changes the game. Like my kids motivate me, they inspire me, they give me energy just to be better. And everything that I do revolves around my kids. The whole business that I'm doing, it's what sparked it and what motivated me to do it. Because I'm thinking to myself, okay, what can I do for my kids? What can I do to give them a better start? What can I do to give them, when they're an adult, what can I give to them so that they have a running start in life? And that sort of, and without my kids, I don't think I would have been as motivated. I had my first son young. I was only 19 at the time. I was still in college and things like that. And that was the best thing that happened to me, because that just created this burning desire inside of me to say, you know what, okay, I'm no longer thinking about myself now. I've got to think about I've now, in charge of this. I've got to raise this little baby at the age of 19. And I still felt like, at the time, I felt like, wow, I feel like a kid myself. So, and I didn't really, at the time, I wasn't really taking life seriously. But 19, that was like a literally instant mind shift for me. And I started to see, okay, whatever I do now, I've got to do it to the best of my ability. I've got to give everything that I do 110%. 100% is not good enough anymore. I need 110%. And that was it. And ever since then, I've just been up, and then my mindset's just been different.
So yeah, I do see. So obviously, I follow you and both your partner Ashley on social media stuff, and you're both quite. I know she's got her own little motivation, like a mindset group, hasn't she? A group. Is it just females, or is it anyone?
Yes. She's involved in some like a network marketing company as well. So she's doing really well in that.
So that might be the next podcast in a couple of weeks' time. I'll get Ashley on, and we'll get the females on side. Talk about that. But I follow you both on social media, and from one side of business is to be focused in business is pretty cool, but then to also be very motivational. Obviously, you've got to be motivational to grow, but you do see some people who have done well in business who are just business minded. But to see how much you try and put out a positive mindset and being motivational is pretty cool. And I've seen your videos of your little lad, man, when he's talking and he's got the whiteboard and he's learning, and I think it's great. Like you say, you're setting your kids for life, but the mindset you're giving them to not fall into this trap, because kids these days, I don't know which way they're going in life, but a lot of them are going. You can't see where half of them are going. That's why I like coaching with cheer still, because I try and have a positive effect on kids, not just for cheer, but for life. And I think that's great what you're doing, getting your kids involved so early. How do you keep so motivated? Like, I find I'm smiley, I'm happy, I try and give energy 24/7, but sometimes it's hard. So how do you keep yourself motivated?
Okay, so for me, I always say that motivation is good, but motivation has an expiry date. So with this business, that the property business, I'll give you a good example, is when I first started it, I was very motivated because I was excited. It was all new. It done well quite quickly as well. So that was all exciting. I was basically, my adrenaline was based off motivation. But then what happens then, and this is when a lot of people start falling down, is that's the honeymoon day goals, basically. The honeymoon days is gone. All of a sudden, the reality it kicks in. You get all the problems, you got all the phone calls. I know I used to get, I've systemized the business now, but before I was getting like calls like 3, 4 in the morning of tenants. And it came to a point when it was just so stressful. We expanded so quick, but that can actually be a bad thing sometimes because it can create a lot of overwhelm. You haven't got the systems, you haven't got the staff, you haven't got the processes in place to be able to deal with the level of problems that come with scaling the business. So that's quickly what happened, and it became very, very stressful. And that initial motivation that I had, that was gone in the flash.
I don't want to do this anymore.
And then you start questioning yourself. You start thinking, is this for me? You start thinking, do I want this for the rest of my life? You start thinking, actually, do I actually want to expand this business? Because you're thinking, okay, if I expand it, it's going to come with even more problems.
Yeah.
Then what's kept me going and what's kept me motivated is basically aligning my core values, aligning the business core values with my purpose. So it's actually finding what my purpose is. So my purpose is basically helping people and creating value. And I believe that this business that I'm doing, I'm helping a lot of people. I'm basically restoring the housing market, finding derelict properties, restoring them, and creating affordable housing in the market for the local community. I'm helping landlords that are struggling to that are in difficulty with filling their properties. They can't fill it. A lot of the properties that we see, they've been empty for like a year, 2 years sometimes. We take them off them, we restore it, and we tenant it. So I'm creating value. I'm solving problems. I'm helping people, and that's definitely my purpose. And when you're doing something that aligns with your purpose, you'll always be motivated because it's deeper than just money. It's deeper than just a job. It's deeper than you just getting up and just doing the same routine. I get up every day and I'm just buzzing to go. Absolutely buzzing.
And that's where I was at. Like, the moment, I'm not like that. I have to try, and it's like, I'm going to buy a house. I'm going to buy a house. And that's all I keep telling myself. I'm going to buy a house because I don't want to be working nights at the job I'm at. Like I say, it could be worse. There are a lot of people worse off than me, but I struggle. I had the same desire you had. Like, I was helping people. I was doing what I was wanting to do. I was traveling. And then for that to be ripped away from me was hard to find that again. But I love that answer from you. You didn't start it with money.
Yeah.
You didn't say money. And because money, like you say, runs out very quickly. At the beginning, it was probably like, oh my God, new business, money. Amazing. Then when the pressures come on, you're like, when you love it and really love it and have, like you say, reasons. No one would ever say, why are you into property? Oh, because I have these values of life, which that I put into my business. And that's same again. Once I say again, that's probably why you are going to be successful, because you're not chasing things that are going to run out. Like you as a person want to help people, and you always will want to help people.
Yeah.
Spoke about this on another podcast. You can help people too much, which I've found in the past. You can be too nice. But just the vibe I get from you as well, though, is that you are a nice, caring person, and to have that. But to have that, I bet you've got a nasty side too. And if you're a successful businessman, you're gonna have a nasty side. But the fact that you put those values into a business means that it's gonna last, because people
100%.
are always gonna need to be looked after.
Yeah, 100%.
You're always gonna be nice.
The thing with me as well is that I'm not just here just to this business. I want to still be doing this in 20, 30, 40 years time. I don't have any plans of stopping. So for me, I always think about the bigger picture. I think about the reputation, the credibility that I'm trying to build. The business name is absolutely, it means so much to me. And this is when it's your own business. It's like it's a lifestyle. It's not just a job anymore. It's your life basically. So it means a lot to me. So I always think about that in anything that I do, and I try and get them the same core values to my staff as well. So we think, okay, think about the bigger picture, think about where we're going, think about the direction that we're going, what we're looking to achieve, and things like that. I think that's so important to know where you're going as well, because that will keep you motivated.
So going off the back of that quote, I hope that phrase or paragraph you just said about your core values, I hope that's in your new book. You're
It will
writing.
be, definitely.
Yeah, I hope it is. What's this book? Is it how to be? Is it entrepreneurial? Is it business? Is it?
Yeah, so it's going to be about entrepreneurship, taking the step into like chasing your dreams, basically. A lot of mindset stuff's going to be in there as well, and I will have a bit of property about just how I got into property and how I started, and the way we found, the way we got properties. Just because it's a fantastic strategy, I feel like anyone could do it, and I just want to, again, it's just help more people, and they can achieve their dreams, and that this can inspire and motivate someone to basically take action. Then yeah, I'm all for it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not writing the book for the money, because when I look at the time it's taken, it's so very, very time consuming writing a book. And when I look at, I'm not a big, well-known entrepreneur. So I'm trying to say to my network and things like that, but it's going to be a lot of hard work. So when I look at the time that I'm putting in for what I might get, it's bigger than just the money. I'm doing it for, this is going to be an asset. It's going to help so many people. I'll be able to get my message out as well to a lot of people. So yeah, so that's the reason why I'm doing it. And hopefully, well, not hopefully, it will be out next year. I'm still writing. I'm still early stages of writing it, but I'm leaving it till next year, because as a business, we're growing massively, and the experiences that I'm going through as well, the good and the bad, I want to be able to put it on the book to give more value as well.
Yeah, the new section: how to survive when the world when the world shuts down.
Exactly.
How to get through in property. Like the best section. That's the section I'll be going straight to. The COVID survival section. So yeah, on a daily basis, though, with that thought that you want to help people and you have that purpose, do you ever struggle on a daily basis? Because you're a bit like me, really. You want to have your fingers in a lot of pies because you just love life. Like, you just love doing stuff. I love doing everything. And you're like, well, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to have a business. And I want to write a book. I want to help these people with that.
Yeah.
When you wake up in the morning, like, what do you feel like? Like, what's the reason to why?
Like,
yeah, that fire. Like, yes, you have that purpose. Is it
yeah.
family? Is it just ingrained in you?
I think it's just ingrained in me. I feel like anything that I've always, to be fair, I've always been the sort of person that anything I do, I like to do it to the best of my ability. So I feel like now, because this is like my baby. This is the first time that I've done something for myself in terms of my own business. I've always been employed. So I've always been working for someone else, and I've always given it 100%, and I've always achieved good things within the job as well. So now I feel like I've finally been given this opportunity where I've got my own business. I'm building my own empire. I've got the opportunity to basically leave my stamp in this world. So I feel like the sky's not the limit. I'm the limit. There's no limitations. There's no politics. There's no, the politics that you get in the corporate world. None of that. And so I feel like now this is my opportunity to really shine. So I'm just literally going for it. I'm just giving it, my best shot, basically. So
when you have a bad day, how do you get over that?
So this is something that I do. It's a bit deep, actually. It's something I've read this. I'm doing this thing called, like, I don't know if you've heard of, like, neuroscience. Yeah. So basically, I watched this interview gone a few months back now, and he talked about, like, recollaborating your mind. And basically, what he was saying is there's a lot of tests they do on, like, mice, and a lot of it can be, like, recycled into human nature. And basically, they're doing these 2 tests on mice about, like, it's called the winning formula. So they're talking about why do winners win and why do losers lose. And basically, what they do, they put 2 mice in this tube, this, like, see-through tube, And basically, the two mouse, they've got to basically fight to push through because it's not big enough. So what happens is, and this will all make sense in a minute.
We've gone from like a nice Shaun, loving, caring, wanting to help people to a fight or flight survival mode warrior. Carry on. Yeah. I'm excited to see where it's going.
So basically, what they do, are trying to do, it's all about the brain chemicals in your mind and why people win, basically. So they've got two mice in a tube, a see-through tube, and basically it's a bit nasty, but the mouse have got to basically fight to get through.
Yeah.
Because it's too small. So what happens is the mouse that won that day, they put them back in again, and that they reckon that 90% of the time that mouse would keep on winning.
Okay.
So that's what would happen. So then they did a test, and I thought, okay, the losing mouse, let's try and like see if we can get him to win. So what they'll then do is basically put like a straw, and basically give the losing mouse a bit of a push, but he doesn't realise he's getting pushed. So basically, they make the loser a winner. Now, the next day, guess what happens? The mind's been like recollaborated, and all of a sudden he's with his chest a little bit bigger, and thinking, "What? I've done this yesterday, so I can do it again." And then guess what happens? That losing mouse that kept on losing, he now beats the other one. And what they then do is they take it further. They'll put the new winner. They'll put in with a mouse that's a lot stronger and really should be, should win easily. And because this mouse has got like the winning mindset now, he pushes hard. He's got more heart, and basically he just keeps on winning. And like, again, 90% of the time it wins. And the way this makes sense, and this will make sense now to what I do, is because the reason why the mouse kept winning is because he in his mind, he was thinking about the last win. He wasn't thinking about all the times that he lost. Of the 20 times he lost, he's thinking, okay, yesterday I won this. So what I do when I'm having a really bad day, and seriously, I have some really bad days in property. Things aren't coming once, things come in 3, 5 problems, and my phone just doesn't stop ringing. And you can get into this little bit of a rut, basically, where you just, you can't get back to where you was. So what I do, recalibrate my mind, and like what that mouse does, where he thinks about the last win and he goes out there and really goes through it and starts winning. I think about when the last time I won. So I think about that, and also I focus on the small wins. So if I'm in a bad day and it seems like everything is just going bad, there will be something in your day that you can think of that you've won at, but you're just not thinking hard of the smallest thing. So I would think about things that I've won. I'd also do things as well that I'm 100% know that I can 100% win at. I would set myself a task and say, right, what can I do to win now? Right now, what can I do right now that I'm going to set myself a task and win it at it, to get my mindset back into that sort of right frame set of winning. And that's basically what I do, and that helps me massively.
No, I love that. So because it's the same with like negative comments. Negative thoughts are the same. You might have 100 positive, and you'll always focus on the one negative, and it's down to you to find those other 100 positives. I love that, and not setting the challenge too big. Like it was about 5 years ago. You've probably seen the video. Everyone saw it because it went viral, of the Navy SEAL talking about making your bed. That's something I now do, and actually realised how a bad human I was when the missus was always moaning at me. Can you make the bed when you get up in the morning? And I never used to. And I watched that video, and it was like, oh, that could be like a small win of the day. And now it's not just a small win because I've made the bed. It's a small win because the missus is going to be happy because I've done that one little thing. And I'm like, oh, she's going to be happy now. I can't now, even if I'm late, I cannot help but have to sort the bed out because I'm like, cool, I've done that small win.
Focus on the small wins, and that just recalibrates your mind, and you can just go again.
Well, yeah, I think especially in this world we're in at the moment, not as in the bad world, as in the way everything's so easily I can't remember what the word say now. You can get things so easy and do things like, oh no, I'm going to start a property business, so I'm going to do it on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go speak to Shaun. He'll tell me a few people to talk to, and I can do it. Like, it's not easy to do, but everyone can give it a go.
Yeah.
We're so focused on the big on the big picture all the time. And I want 10 grand in the bank next week. I want to have a house now. We forget about the little wins, which I think is where mental depression and all stuff started to come from.
100%. Like what I will say as well is that you've got to enjoy the process. It's so important, and that's another thing why I get up in the morning and I just love going, like, just doing life, because I've learned to fall in love with the process, the good and the bad. If you focus too much on the bigger picture, like what you said, you focus on saying, you know what, I want to get to 10 grand a month. You might earn 5 grand, and if you're earning 5 grand a month, you're earning a lot more than the average person in the UK. But because your mindset is thinking, okay, I'm just focused on this 10 grand, you feel like you're losing. So you're not happy, you're not satisfied. And although it's good to not be satisfied, because that's how you can get yourself, to strive for more and strive to be better. But then you don't want that sort of urge to sort of bring you like not bring any sort of happiness as well. So it's all about loving the process, really, and just doing, just enjoying that.
Awesome. Where can people find your business? What's the website?
So Urban Homes. So you can find us on Instagram, Urban Homes. So it's Urban with an E, so it's ERBAN Homes. And my website is urbanhomes.co.uk as well.
Awesome. So everyone in the Birmingham area, right, or West Midlands area, or is it going further afield?
Yeah, that's it. We're actually nationwide now. En route to becoming nationwide, especially the sourcing side as well, because we find below market value properties and we basically source them to investors. So that's on like a nationwide basis as well. So yeah, you can find
www.urbanhomes.
Yeah.
.co.uk.
Yeah. Or you can just find my personal Instagram as well. It's @_Shaun_Davis.
Awesome. Oh. Oh, wait there. Sorry. That's weird. I lost you for a second then. I think it might be the internet. Yeah, it literally just went black. Also, where can we find the book?
Okay, so
when this book's released, where can we find this book?
So that will be on Amazon. That will be on Amazon. So that I'm looking at next year, August, because that's going to be the 3rd year anniversary of my business. So I'm hoping to release it on that date.
What's it called?
I haven't got a name for it yet.
Well, you're going to drop us some inspirational name then.
No, the name is such a hard thing to think about.
It'll come.
And then I've read a lot of things and podcasts and things like that I listen to, and they say that the more you're writing, eventually it will just come.
Yeah, something in the book you'll say, or something that'll be in there, and you'll be like, "That's or something really bad will happen one day, and you'll in the book that." Or I think it's probably the last thing. Same with business names, isn't it?
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know what, and they're normally the last thing after the idea.
Yeah, exactly. Because our business wasn't always called Urban Homes; it was called SDU Properties, and and that was, we couldn't think of a name, so that we just thought, let's just name it that, because I didn't want to hold me back. I didn't want to. It was actually came to the point where this was actually slowing me down. I just wanted to get the business registered and just get started.
That'll do.
Yeah, literally just registered the business, and then when we about probably like a year into the business, when we was a little bit more established, I thought, this suits the business name. So then we done a total rebrand of it, and then Urban Homes came. So here we go.
Yeah, it's nice, and that Urban Homes can be of anything.
Yeah,
it can go to anywhere and anything you're doing. It can go to that. Awesome. Thanks for joining me. That was
mate.
I love that. You are a very positive, inspirational person. So people watching and listening, if you're not bothered in property, still follow him on his Instagram. Was that your personal or was that your business one you said a minute ago?
That's my personal one. That one was as well.
Yeah, follow him on that. Was it Shaun?
Yeah, so it's @_Shaun. So it's SHAUN_Davis DAVIS.
Awesome. Very inspirational person, not just for business, just day-to-day life. And his kids are sick. His little boy doing like property talks and stuff. Is it a motivational talk? That one. Yeah. Was it a motivational talk he was giving?
Yeah, so that one was, he does motivational talks as well. I was only 9. But the thing is, I didn't even push him to do it. I think because he just sees me doing it.
He sees you and the missus, mate. He sees you
exactly.
And the missus.
Yeah, so he just wants to do it. So I thought, you know what? It just makes sense to train him while he's young. And then also, it gives them a good understanding into the business as well from now. So then, so you've done like a video on like 6 things not to do in a HMO. Yeah, and different things like that. And he's done all sorts of different videos. Yeah, so
Yeah, no, and he
we
speaks.
get him on YouTube actually as well. We haven't got started the YouTube channel yet, but we do want to get him on there.
What have you got a channel? Did you say?
No, we haven't. No, not yet.
Okay.
We will do though.
Yeah, get that sorted out, man. Probably look at getting Ashley on, and then we can try and get it done by then. We'll plug it maybe in the new year.
Yeah,
We'll get the missus on, and she can talk about her, because she works with you, right? But then she's also got her own different side to her business.
Yes, yeah, she has. Yeah. So she's got she's doing really well in the network marketing business. Yeah, so she does all sorts in that. Yeah, but yeah, get her on. She'll love that.
Yeah, I love it, mate. So very inspirational, both of you, and the fact that you're pushing it to your kids, so the next generation, to keep it going. Thanks for joining me.
Pleasure, mate. Pleasure. It's good speaking to you.